Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we take big, sometimes complicated ideas, and we break them down into simple, actionable steps you can actually use. So, let me ask you, why is changing your habits so incredibly hard? I mean, if you've ever made a big New Year's resolution, this is the year, only to watch it completely fizzle out by, February? Yeah, you are not alone. We have all been there.
Right? We're always told the same things. Just use more willpower. Go big or go home. Get motivated. But what's the reality? Well, it almost never works. We end up feeling like failures, and we blame ourselves. And that's because, as Stanford's B.J. Fogg points out, this whole strategy is built on a house of cards. It relies on motivation. And motivation, well, it's pretty unreliable.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway. The problem isn't you. It never was. It's your system for change. So today we're going to ditch that broken system for good, and we're going to give you a new one that actually works, all based on the amazing book, Tiny Habit. Okay, so here's the plan. First, the willpower myth. Then, the simple science behind behavior. We'll show you how to create your first tiny habit, talk about the power of celebration, and finally, how tiny things lead to huge transformations. All right, section 1, the willpower myth. Let's talk about why your most unreliable friend can't be trusted with your goals. Seriously, let's just dig right into why that go big or go home mindset is pretty much designed to fail from the start. And here's that quote from B.J. Fogg. Motivation is like a party animal friend. Great for a night out, but not someone you would rely on to pick you up from the airport. It's just perfect, right? Because motivation isn't a stable thing you can just turn on. It's an emotion. It comes and goes in what Fogg calls the motivation wave. You get this huge surge when you start something new, but that wave, it always crashes. And that right there is the trap. We think that feeling we have on day 1, that incredible high, is how we're going to feel on day 50. It's just not true. It's exactly why that plan to go to the gym for 2 hours every single day after work just falls apart. You can't live on that peak forever. And when the motivation fades, well, so does the habit. So, okay, if motivation isn't the key, what is? That brings us to section 2, the behavior model. Let's unlock the simple science behind every single action you take. This is the Fogg behavior model. It's a universal model explaining that for any behavior to happen, 3 things have to come together at the exact same time. And this was Fogg's big breakthrough, realizing that all human behavior, whether it's, checking your phone for the 100th time or training for a marathon, it's all governed by the same 3 ingredients. It's a universal formula. And here it is. B equals M plus A plus P. That's it. Behavior happens when motivation, ability, and a prompt all come together. B equals M, A, P. It looks so simple, but believe me, once you get how to use this, it is so powerful. So let's break that down real quick. M is for motivation, your desire to do the thing. A is for ability, how easy it is to actually do. And P is for prompt. That's the little nudge, the cue that tells you do it now. And here's the absolute key. If even one of those is missing at the crucial moment, the behavior just doesn't happen. Period. End of story. All right, on to section 3, your first tiny habit. Now we're going to talk about how to design a new behavior in less than 30 seconds. We've got the what, now let's get really practical with the how. This is where you can start making a change today. So the tiny habits method is basically just a brilliant way of engineering that B equals MAP model. It's got 3 steps. Step 1, make it tiny. That's how you max out ability. Step 2, find an anchor. That's how you design the prompt. And step 3, celebrate instantly. That's how you wire it all in. And this is the secret sauce, right here, the tiny habits recipe. After I do this thing I already do, I will do this new tiny thing. It's so simple, it's genius. You just find an existing routine, something you do without even thinking, like making your morning coffee, and you use that as the anchor, the prompt, for your new behavior. So, for example, after I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 tooth. And I need to stress this. When we say tiny, we mean ridiculously tiny. Not, I'm going to floss all my teeth. No, just 1. Not, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes. No, I'm going to take 1 deep breath.
You make it so incredibly easy that you have zero reason to say no. You're basically taking the ability part of the formula and turning it up to 11.
Okay, section 4, the power of celebration. This is the secret ingredient that literally rewires your brain. So we've handled ability by making it tiny. We've handled the prompt by using an anchor. But that third part, celebration, this might be the most powerful piece of the whole puzzle, and it's the one most people miss. So let me ask you, what actually makes a habit stick? For real? Is it just raw willpower? Is it that old myth about repeating it for 21 days? Well, the science is pretty clear. It's neither of those things.
The answer is emotions. Emotions create habits. It's the feeling you have right after you do the behavior that tells your brain whether to repeat it or not. It's your brain getting a signal that says, hey, that felt good, let's do that again.
And Fogg has a great name for this. He calls it shine. It's that feeling of success that you create for yourself, right on demand. It's the engine of habit formation. And it's not just a nice-to-have, fuzzy feeling. It's a critical part of the process. It's what drives the whole thing forward. And your celebration can be anything. A quick little fist pump, saying yes out loud, even just smiling at yourself in the mirror or thinking, good job. It's not about big rewards, it's about a tiny, immediate burst of positive emotion. When you floss that one tooth and then you give yourself that fist pump, boom, that's a little hit of dopamine that tells your brain, hey, lock that in, that was good. All right, last section, tiny to transformative, how small seeds grow into life-changing results. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Seriously, flossing one tooth? How is that going to change my life? I get it. But this is where you see the real magic of this process. It's how these tiny little seeds grow into something huge.
So meet Linda. She's a mom of 6, and in the book, Fogg describes how she was just completely overwhelmed. Every morning, she'd sit on the edge of her bed, struggling just to put her feet on the floor. She was just stuck.
So this was her tiny habit recipe. After I put my feet on the floor, I will say, it's gonna be a great day. That's it. That was the whole thing. Not, I'm gonna be a perfect mom, or I'm gonna solve all my problems today. Just that one tiny seed of positivity anchored to something she already did. And what happened? Well, that one tiny habit led to another, and another. See, that little feeling of success she gave herself every single morning, it started a snowball effect. It rebuilt her confidence from the ground up. And now, 6 years later, Linda has actually coached thousands of people in this exact method. It completely transformed her life. And that's the real beauty of this whole idea. It's not about trying to move a mountain on day one. It's about starting by just picking up one single tiny pebble of success. The power of tiny habits is that it meets you exactly where you are, no matter how stuck you feel, and it gives you a way forward. So, the only question left for you is this. What is the tiniest, most meaningful success you could create for yourself right now?